Over the past 8 years of building marketing systems specifically for the fitness industry with one goal in mind, which is how do we get more traffic into studios' doors, there's something I've been noticing over the past 90 days. Now, every time I speak with a gym owner that maybe has a agency that's running their ads or running ads themselves, there's a common issue that I'm noticing. The problem in today's market is everybody is treating it like it was back in the day. So when we started in 2017, running Facebook ads, running a marketing system was very simple. You would just launch any old ad and you would start to generate leads, bookings, and sales. In today's market, it is a more sophisticated market. They've been seeing Facebook ads for years now. So the typical style of ads, the free 6-week offers, they're not working quite like they used to. Back in the day, you'd launch a free 6-week offer, you'd get $1 to $2 leads, and everybody who didn't really know what that was yet thought they were getting this free 6-week program. And so most of those people who were opting in were booking appointments and showing up. In fact, I remember the stats back in the day, and booking rates were closer to 65, 70%. Show-up rates were over 70%. And nowadays, you're lucky to see a 20 to 30% booking and show-up rate. And so what the heck is going on, and what is this big mistake that I'm noticing a lot of gym owners make? Well, the problem is they're treating everything like it used to be, and they're not creating a system for tracking their data. I can't tell you the amount of times I get on a call with a gym owner and they have no idea what their booking percentages are, their show-up percentages. They don't know what it's costing them to generate a booking or generate a show-up. And the problem with that is you're optimizing for the wrong metrics if you're only looking at your cost per lead. You see, the problem is when it comes to Facebook and these, advertising platforms is once they start to learn a little bit of information about your business, once they start collecting data and they're generating your business leads, the issue is they're going to find you more of those leads. And so here's the issue with optimizing for lead cost. What's going to end up happening is you're telling Facebook, hey, I want more of these leads. I want more of these leads. Problem is if those leads aren't booking and aren't showing up, well, then you're just getting more of those leads that aren't booking and showing up. And so the number one issue I see right now with gym owners is none of them have a proper system in place for tracking their numbers and optimizing for bookings and show-up rates on the back end. Now, in some cases, you might get lucky and you might run an ad. It does really well right out of the gate. It finds the right pocket of people. And then all of a sudden you're getting bookings and shows, but it's not consistent. You go through these fluctuations. And so the issue with this is we need to design an engineering approach when it comes to building these marketing campaigns. And so what the biggest mistake is that I'm noticing is that nobody is testing anything when it comes to their marketing. They're just picking an offer, thinking it's going to work, and they're rolling with it. The biggest issue here is you're kind of going in blindfolded. And so what I urge you to do is rather than just assuming you think you know what's going to work, run a test, collect some data, and then use that data to your advantage. And so something we started recently doing is what we're calling our untapped revenue ad testing process. And so what we do is we take a variety of different style offers and we run them all at the same time. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get feedback from the data. We're trying to figure out, okay, out of all these offers that we're running, which one is getting people to actually click and engage with it, okay? And then out of all those offers, we basically take the winner and we move it into the next phase of testing. Now, what you can already start to see as I'm explaining this is it's a structured process. We start with the offer. We figure out what the best offer is out of 5 to 10 different offers. We then look at that offer and we go, okay, can we change out the hook to try to make it more appealing? And so let's say we had a 10 for 10, 7-day offer, a 6-week, a 30-day, a 28-day, a 21-day. We ran those all and we figured out that, a 10-day free offer was working the best. We would then take that and we would go, okay, how can we reformat the hook? So let's say we do 10 days of unlimited classes, 10 days unlimited access, 10-day tone and sculpt program, 10-day slim and sleek program. And so we're trying a different packaging of that same duration offer, and we're going to run that test and we're going to figure out, okay, what appeals most to the audience after we run this test. From there, we then take that new structured hook and we run a copy test. And so at the very top of the ad, we replace that with 4 to 5 different variations of copy. So one could be calling out women, one could be calling about women 40 plus, one could be calling out men over 50. And we're trying to basically figure out what is the best combination of ad that's going to work. And as I'm mentioning, we're taking this engineer approach where every single thing we're doing is an isolated test so that we know at the end of the test what is the variable that made the change? Once we figured out the copy, we're then going to change out creatives. We're going to try a bunch of different styles. We're going to try Canva styles, group photos. We're going to try videos where, people are actually doing a class. They're doing the workouts, the things that you're actually providing as a service. And then we're going to figure out which of those work best. Now, at this point, once we figured out what's really working well, we then need to track our back end stats in order to see if it's actually working. And this is where most people go wrong. They start to optimize to find the best cost per lead, the lowest cost per lead. But the reality is, in some cases, a more expensive cost per lead could be a higher quality prospect that actually books. And so what you really want to know is, hey, out of all the ads running, what one is getting me the cheapest cost per booking and cheapest cost per show? And if you can actually look at that data, then rather than assuming that the cost per lead is the metric that gets you the best quality lead, you're actually looking at the proper metric that is actually leading to people walking in your studio's doors. And so recently we ran a test with a client, and what we found was we were running a Canva style image, and it was getting about $8 leads, which is very cheap for that location. But the problem with that was the cost per booking was extremely high. And so the quality of the leads that were coming in were so low, if we had just been basing our stats based on that lead cost, we would think it's doing well, when in reality it's doing far worse than it was doing when the lead cost was higher. And so when we reverted back to an ad creative that was in the studio showcasing workouts, cost per lead went up to $15 per lead. However, the cost per booking dropped substantially to a relatively reasonable price at around $40 to $45 per booking, which is pretty darn good. And so that's something I wanted to mention is every time I talk to somebody, most gym owners aren't tracking their numbers properly. They don't have a proper testing system to actually figure out what is working. And the other thing is they're not using multiple channel sources. And so for most of this video, I've been talking about the Facebook ad side of things, how to optimize that, but there's a whole nother system on the organic side, right? I'm talking about getting your website in place so that it actually ranks on Google, setting up your website so it's actually designed for conversions. It's designed as a funnel, right? If people go to your website, they should be opting in, giving you their information, and then booking an appointment. If you have a website set up that is not setting, it's not set up for conversions, it's not actually generating leads, then you basically have a leaky bucket on that side. And so something that you really have to realize when it comes to building a marketing system is, for one, we shouldn't be relying on just Facebook and Instagram ads to run the business in general, right? We need to basically create a multi-channel marketing system. And that's something we started recently doing, where we're combining organic traffic plus paid ads, plus referral systems in the studio in order to generate an actual system that's going to consistently bring in new traffic each and every month, even if we're not running ads. The other thing to keep in mind is when your ads are actually doing well, they're going to funnel people to your website. And if your website isn't set up properly, you're going to lose out on more opportunities. And so what we need to have in place is all of these components working together in harmony in order to maximize the profitability of your marketing campaigns moving forward. And so that's the number one issue I'm seeing right now is gym owners are not maximizing the leads that come from organic. They don't have a system in place for tracking their numbers from an ad side of things. And they're not really taking the proper engineering approach to systematically figuring out what's working, what's not working, and then iterating on the things that are working while tracking their numbers so that they know what is actually getting them bookings and show ups and not just the cheapest cost per lead. If you want to see exactly how we build out this entire structure for our fitness studio partners, there's a number of videos that I just created on the YouTube channel that you can go check out that gives you a tutorial and a step-by-step on how to run some ad testing processes, how to set up your conversion APIs to track bookings and show ups in the actual ad manager. I also go through our entire process for the follow-up side of things, as well as some organic stuff on the channel. So give some of those videos a watch. Otherwise, if you found this video valuable, please leave it a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content on how to grow your fitness studio. Otherwise, if you're looking for more of a one-on-one / done-for-you solution, you can head over to untap-revenue.com and book a free strategy session with myself.